Now, first of all, welcome here at our booth at the A+A Fair. So core body temperature refers to the temperature inside of your body. So this is really the temperature of your organs, your blood, your brain. This normally fluctuates between 36.5, 37.5 degrees. And in this range, your body behaves most optimal. But once you start exercising or when you're working in the heat, your body temperature is gonna rise. And this can lead to serious conditions. So heat-induced illnesses like heat exhaustion or heat stroke. Now heat stroke, this is something that needs to be treated immediately because if you leave it untreated, it can be fatal. So with our device, we want to monitor the temperature and prevent people from reaching these dangerous levels. So we're focusing on all industries where people are getting hot. So we can think about hot environments like firefighters exposed to flames, but also underground miners. There the walls can get up to 60 degrees Celsius. But anywhere where they're melting something like aluminium, glass, or baking cement. But also occupations where people are physically very active. So one of our main focuses is military and athletes. Now, besides these occupations, global warming is affecting more and more industries. So you can think about construction, people working in the sunlight all day. This is getting very hot. Where a few years ago, this would only be a few weeks. Now it's multiple months and higher temperatures. Other industries are transportation, but also hospitality. So there are a lot of industries that have to deal with heat strain. And we are here have an individual solution to track that core body temperature. We're focusing first and foremost on the health and safety of our users. So we want to prevent people from reaching these high levels of core body temperature. But next to these heat-induced illnesses like heat stroke, we're also focusing on thermal comfort. So you can expect that if you're working underneath the hot sun the whole day, you're not going to feel that well anymore. And if your thermal comfort is low, there's a bigger chance that you start making mistakes. And if you make mistakes with heavy machinery or driving a truck, then the consequences can be dire. Besides the safety aspect, there is also the productivity aspect. So if companies use a monitor to track the temperature of their employees, they can more efficiently use the human resources and optimize their heat guidelines. The CALERA monitor can be worn on the upper arm, but also on a chest strap or with adhesive patches or integrated into a textile product. Now, when the core body temperature is getting too hot, a signal will be sent to one of our apps, either on a smartphone, smartwatch, or routers attached to factory ceilings. Now, this alarm will be sent to the worker, but also to a safety officer that's looking at the dashboard and has the complete overview of all the workers. Now, I want to mention an important difference between our solution and existing solutions. So existing solutions, they focus primarily on the environmental temperature, the environmental humidity, and then base their guidelines on this one value. But this does not take into account the individual. So every individual responds differently to the heat. This can be caused to different workloads, different clothings, but also medical condition. Is the person hydrated? What are his medical background? So with our device, we really have we're measuring the individual response. So keep making sure everyone is safe and optimizing the productivity as well. So GreenTech is based in Switzerland. And actually everything we do at GreenTech revolves around the so-called heat flux sensor. So this is a very tiny sensor that can measure thermal energy flow. And this is the cornerstone of our solution. By measuring this thermal energy flow between our body and the environment, we can remove influences from that environment. So it doesn't matter anymore whether you're working in very hot conditions or very cold conditions. We always have a very accurate estimation of the core body temperature. We're also selling this technology for any company that wants to integrate us. So you can think about smartwatches or medtech devices. Now, we released our first wearable 3.5 years ago. This is called the Core and has been released to the sports market. We had 12 gold medalists use it at the last Summer Olympics in Tokyo. And in the Tour de France, almost all of the teams are using our device. Now, because this was so successful, we want to transfer this technology to the workforce safety sector, adapt the solution so we can protect people working in the most critical environments. Protect your workforce from overheating with CALERA.